What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Truth Serum. I'm Joey,
I'm Jordan.
and today we're going to bring you our top quarterback rankings. We're going to run through as many as we possibly can, and we're going to be answering questions. So feel free to leave comments, anything from fantasy football to life to whatever.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Jamie, appreciate that, man. We're looking to get in that as authors as well. So wish us luck. He says, great job at the Fantasy Black Book. Joe Pisapia is the author, the main author of the Fantasy Black Book. Super dope series of books, man. If you have not, go to Amazon and search for it. Order one. I think they're like $13, and then he's also got them for Kindle and shit too. So they're really awesome.
Yeah, I wish I had mine handy. I was looking at it last night, but definitely a good read and a lot of good insight, man, and a really, really awesome price for what you get.
Hell yeah. So before we kick this off with our quarterback rankings, would you like to go ahead and thank our Patreons? This is $10 tier and up. We appreciate the hell out of y'all motherfuckers. Alex Lavelle, Alfredo Lavelle, that's Freddie Dallas, Ben Kaiser, Brian Richardson, Cam Benoit, Chris Hauk, how you say your name, Chris Leach, Clint Collins, Colleen Kunkel.
Oh, you beat me to it. We got Daniel Blaha, Dwight Kofroth, Jeff Beavers, James Miller, Jeff Wallace, Jeremy Maines, and my favorite pile, Jeremy.
Josh Hickman, Josh Machino, Justin Prather, Manil Trivedi, Matthew, don't have your last name.
I think that's Tovar.
Here. Oh, Matthew Tovar, that's right. Mike Pinecker, Michael Truax.
Patrick Johnston with the T, as always. We got Robert Dawson, Ryan Cram, got Tax Benjamin, or also known as Brian Lewis. We got Travis Sumter, old Mavs, Trav, and Tyler Locke.
Tyler Tompkins, Wes Blaha, Austin Peppers, Hot Peppers, Blowy Dickel, Cam Benoit, Colt Martin, Jackie Howell, Kirk Davenport, Kyle Thibodeau. Thibodeau.
You can tell you're not a round ball fan because you can't pronounce Thibodeau. So Kyle Thibodeau, thanks, bro. We got Mike Pompa, Nate Janzak, not sure on that one. Nasty Nate Schoen, Scott Blaha, and Steve Reimer. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah, thank you, guys. But let's go ahead and kick this off, man. We got quarterback rankings. I have not my rankings in front of me. Let me pull those up. But we both got Patrick Mahomes at number 1.
Hell yeah, we do. I think Pat Mahomes is the no-brainer number 1, man. I get it if you want to go Lamar, but I mean Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL league in my eyes.
In the league or in the history of the league? Because
let's hold off on the history talk because he hasn't made a ton of history yet. His pace is unprecedented. I'll say that.
Yes, I'm saying from a visual standpoint, I have never seen any quarterback quite like him. He's got it all, man. He's fucking Dan Marino with wheels. He's got the pocket presence of Tom Brady. I just love watching him play. There's been no quarterback as exciting from a quarterback role. We got Lamar Jackson as well, but he's a different kind of animal. But Patrick Mahomes, from a quarterback in today's NFL, I've never seen any quarterback play like him. So I love him.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, he did miss some time last year, but when you look at the stats, man, 25 points per game, it's everything you want in your quarterback. So draft him with confidence.
Yeah, he averaged 25 fantasy points per game. He just missed time.
Yeah.
That dislocated knee and shit. Imagine he hurt. So
looked pretty good when he came back in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Quarterback winning, Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's amazing. A number 1 in my eyes. But again, I can see your point. If you want to go with Lamar Jackson, he is super safe as well.
I don't know if I would say super safe, but he's a pretty sexy name.
Yeah, I think he's safe. And
do you think he's safe to repeat what he did last year? Do you think he's safe as a QB1? Like, expand on that.
I think he's safe because he provides such a rushing floor. And we'll go ahead and say Lamar is our number 2. I have him at 3. We both have him at 3, okay? But the consensus, the way that worked with just the two of us, it tied. So we got our next 3 are basically all consensus 2s, but they're tied. So
yeah, thanks Colt Martin for breaking that tie for us.
Yeah, very trusted mind in my eyes. So yeah, hell yeah, man. He provides such a rushing floor, man. He had a touchdown pass on every 7.4% or 7.4 pass attempts last year. That is not repeatable in my eyes. It can't happen. However, he's going to rush for another 1,100 rushing yards, and he's going to be a running back 1. Plus, he's going to throw for 3,600 yards, and he might get another 30 touchdowns. We don't know, but I don't think the touchdown rate is repeatable, but the rushing floor is just absolutely amazing. And we got Hollywood coming into year 2, not hurt, hopefully. And I just feel with that extra weapon in Dobbins, which they drafted, he's better than Gus Edwards for sure.
Absolutely.
This offense is going to be great again.
Yeah, the offense should absolutely be great. Agree with everything you said. I think my biggest concern with Lamar is I want to see it this year as well. I want to see if he's going to be you chalk it up, man. 1,100 yards in the bag. I'm not so sure if he can repeat that this year, but let's see. I think he's a slam dunk top 5 quarterback, and I don't think I'm telling anybody out there anything they don't already know. So yeah, he's number 1 on a lot of people's boards, number 3 on mine, number 2 on our consensus.
Yeah, I'm chalking up the 1,100 yards, and that is a regression because he was right at damn near 1,200, and he set out week 17 last year. So I did add some regression in there for him with that.
Fair.
Hell yeah. So at number 3, we have Kyler Murray.
Joey didn't back off.
I didn't back off. I didn't because
talk to it.
From weeks 1 through 11, he was a quarterback 5 as a rookie. This guy's going to add 600 rushing yards. He just added a new weapon in DeAndre fucking Hopkins.
D-Hop.
Dude, the sky's the limit for him. They got Cliff Kingsbury is going to run. They ran more 4 wide sets last year than any team in the entire NFL. And their pace of play wasn't what I expected it to be last year. It was still fast. They just couldn't get into the red. Once they got into the red zone, they couldn't convert a lot. So there wasn't a lot of points scored. But with that new weapon and DeAndre Hopkins, I feel like they're going to be a little bit more efficient in the red zone. So you just got to bump him up a little bit along with his second year progression. He's the best pure passer outside of Tyreek Hill, outside of Patrick Mahomes in the NFL, in my opinion, as from a passing standpoint.
Probably don't want to touch that one today, but you were on this Kyler Murray train well before DeAndre Hopkins came to town. Yeah. So if anything, I think this sucks for a guy like you who probably could have got him at a little bit more of a discount if Hopkins hadn't come. Now he's going to be up there with everybody. But yeah, man, Kyler Murray, he's another slam dunk. I think you already said it, but second quarterback ever, 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 500 rushing yards. He's an absolute stud, and he could have done even better last year. He kind of tailed off. So I think he has not even come close to hitting his floor yet.
His ceiling? Me neither.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah, whatever.
So we got Dak Prescott at number 4, right? This is going to be his 5th year. He finished as a QB1 4 years in a row and cannot get any respect. Why?
No respect, man. You know why? It's because he's the quarterback for the greatest franchise in the world, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I said it, everybody. Everybody loves to hate the Cowboys quarterback, man. It's been that way since I've been alive, but Dak's an absolute stud. The offense is absolutely beefed up around him. I actually have Dak as my QB2 in my rankings, and would not shock me a bit if he ends up as QB1. I know I was probably tossing out a little bit of hyperbole last episode about Tom Brady, and he'll be coming up soon. But truth be told, man, I think Dak's floor is a top 3 QB.
Floor. Okay. Well, last year he had career highs in attempts, yardage, and touchdown. He threw for almost 5,000 yards last year, and he had 43 dropped passes by his pass catchers.
3 dropped passes, man. Some of those were his fault, but I think that number will come down.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is as sure-handed as it gets.
Anybody. Yep.
Basically, they traded out 2 nobodies for a CeeDee Lamb, who both had 80 targets apiece. So I'm loving, but
I mean, I wouldn't even say it that way, man. Like, yeah, we got rid of Randall Cobb and we got rid of Jason Witten, and they're towards the end of their career. Jason Witten should just quit. I don't even know why the Raiders signed him, but either way, to me, not only did we upgrade with Lamb, but I think Jarwin is another big upgrade over Witten, and I think Tony Pollard hasn't even come close to showing us what he can do. So I think there are weapons all over this offense.
I am with you on that. So at number 5 consensus, we have Russell Wilson. We both have him at number 5. Awesome. So talk to me about some old Russ, some danger Russ.
Man, Russell Wilson, he was definitely a little bit streaky last year, but, started the season hot as hell, was the quarterback 1 through the first 9 weeks and then trailed off towards the end. But, I mean, man, I think Russell Wilson is as safe as it comes. He's like the exact opposite of Dak. I'll give it. He has DK Metcalf, but, man, that guy never seems to have a ton of weapons around him and just gets it done. So, Russell Wilson, man, safe as it gets.
Yeah, he was in the MVP talks with Lamar Jackson throughout weeks 1 through 9. He was the quarterback 1 in fantasy. From weeks 10 on, he finished as the quarterback 21. And during those weeks, it wasn't like he had huge bust weeks. He just was very consistent, not even a streamable quality quarterback in my eyes.
Yeah, he's the quarterback that's going to get you 12 to 13 a game, which isn't going to win anybody anything.
Right. So he was super hot in the beginning. We did see DK Metcalf take a huge leap forward. I think he continues to grow. I still like this offense because Pete Carroll will throw that bitch, and I'm just concerned about this running back injury situation. Both of these guys it's looking like they're both might come into the season hurt, maybe even Penny on the PUP list. So
I feel like Penny stays on that damn list a lot.
Injury prone until you are not.
Oh, I'll say this though, man. I picked up Penny for a couple weeks just on a gamble last year, and man, he had a couple good weeks before he got injured again last season. So I completely agree with you. He's not getting a lot of reliable help out of this run game due to injury.
Yeah, and one more note on Russell Wilson. 4 of the last 5 seasons, he's had 30+ touchdown passes. That you can bank on about 30 touchdown passes for him.
Yeah, consistent, as safe as you get, man. You know what you're getting season in and season out. If he's like at 28 touchdowns after week 12, fade, because he's only got like 2 to 3 more in him.
Who we got next on this list?
So these next 2 we have flip-flop, but consensus we have, thanks to Colt Martin breaking the tie, Desean Watson.
Okay, yeah. Desean Watson, 7 top 5 finishes last year, only trailing Lamar Jackson, who had 11. He did lose one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL to a different team. I get it, but the rushing floor is still there. He's going to find a way. They did bring in Brandon Cooks. Maybe Will Fuller stays healthy.
Maybe David Johnson has a little bit of a rebound season.
Yeah, he's a great pass catcher, dude. He looked slow to me last year. It doesn't.
He wasn't him. He wasn't who he was in 2016. That's for sure. I think this will either be his resurrection or probably his last go of it as a starting running back in the NFL. So we'll see.
Dude, Carlos Hyde rushed for 1,000 yards on this team. So, but David Johnson's efficiency, like yards after contact, was the worst in the NFL. So, you got to factor in that too. That's not offensive line problems, which he didn't have the greatest either. But yards after contact very strongly correlates with me as far as elusiveness goes and breaking tackles, and it's just not what it was in the past. So, but in the passing game, he's going to bring it. He's going to be very effective pass catcher in the pass game. So, I think that kind of helps out as far as the Desean Watson floor goes as well. So.
Yeah, I think Desean Watson has like the most average ass team, average ass offense around it, man. Fuller, good, not great. Cobb, good, not great. Johnson, I think at this point in his career, good, not great. But none of those guys are terrible. None of them are bad. So Desean, I'm real conflicted on him. So on one hand, I don't like the weapons he has around him, and that kind of concerns me. D-Hop has been a monster for him over his career. However, on the other hand, if Desean Watson is kind of on an island and has to will his team to the 7-9 victories the Texans are probably going to get this year, man, I could see that rushing floor skyrocketing. I can see, him just having to step up and just play like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens every year for him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and transition this into Tom Brady, your greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time. He should be everybody's greatest of all time. That man has nothing left to prove, just saying. Man, I absolutely love Tom Brady this year. I backed off a little bit on the QB2 discussion, but at the end of the day, man, I kind of fully expect Tom Brady to be the QB2, QB3 this year. But there are probably safer plays, so I did what I needed to do. But Tom Brady is joining an offense that produced a top 3 fantasy quarterback in Jameis Winston last season. And I get it. Tom Brady doesn't have the gun that Jameis Winston does at this point in his career. However, there's a lot of things Jameis Winston does not have that Tom Brady does. Tom Brady is a fucking animal. He's the best quarterback of all time. It hasn't always translated to fantasy. But this year, man, I just think there are too many weapons. I think there's too big of a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to be a stud.
Okay. The only thing that I really want to add to that is the part where you said he doesn't really have the arm that he used to, which it is true.
No. What I said was maybe he doesn't have the arm that Jameis Winston does at this stage in his career, which I don't think he does.
Okay. Well, he was 4th in passing attempts. He had the 5th most pass attempts of 20 yards or greater. And of those, he was last in touchdown rate. So
3.9. That's coming up, y'all. That's coming up a lot.
It's got to. With these guys he's got now. He was throwing to.
Let me ask you a question. Like, as an opposing defense, what the hell do you do against the Buccaneers in the red zone? What do you do? Like, there's not enough corners on the football field to cover all those weapons, man. Like, I love it. Can't wait to see those guys in action.
All right, so coming in next, we got Josh Allen. What number is this?
Josh Allen, I believe, is 6 or 7. Hold on.
No.
It is 8. Josh Allen is 8.
Okay. Talk to me, baby.
Man, Josh Allen was really, really hard for me to peg because on one hand, I kind of feel like I ranked him too low. He already kind of showed us that he can outperform this spot. So it was hard. I just think the upside for the 7 guys above him is so much greater. I think Josh Allen is pretty close to his ceiling already. Yeah, they got Diggs. That should help. They also got Moss. That should help as well. So they've added some weapons. I think he can be a really good, not great quarterback in the NFL. I think he's a pretty safe play in the top 10, though.
Yeah, for sure. This is a guy that led the league in rushing touchdowns at the quarterback position, even more than Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to highlight here is, as a rookie, he was averaging 52 rushing yards. Last year, that dropped to 31 per game. So, but when they got in the red zone, they were not giving the ball to Singletary. They just went out and drafted Moss after Gore went bye-bye. So I think that basically this doesn't really hurt Devin Singletary all that much from where he was last year towards the end, because the only thing that Moss is going to do in my eyes is replace what Frank Gore was doing.
Yeah,
so,
and probably cut into some of Allen's red zone looks as well.
Well, yeah. So I think Singletary had 4 or 5 rushing attempts inside the 5-yard line, which is terrible. So I think terrible. I think Josh Allen is going to continue to do that because that is where he is great. He is great in rushing. He's just incredibly inaccurate, especially on deep balls, where he, I think, made, I want to say, I can't remember, so I'm not going to say it officially, but I think it was about 17% of his balls over 20 yards were deemed catchable. So that's not good. So, yes, one of the best route runners in the league just joined this team, which helps. But I think he's really close to his ceiling and also really close to his floor because of the rushing. So safe bet at number 8 quarterback in my eyes.
Yeah.
And number 9, we got Matt Ryan. Matty Ice, Matty, whoever you want to say.
Yeah. Matt Ryan, man. We want to talk about Russell Wilson being, consistent. Matt Ryan, man, is just all day, every day, comes in and does this thing. Just consistent, literally most of his career. I think he hasn't finished lower than like a quarterback 14 except for one time in the past 9 seasons or something. I don't know, man. I love the offense around him. I love Julio Jones. I love Calvin Ridley. I like Todd Gurley being in that offense. Let's go with Matt Ryan. If you guys let him fall into this range of quarterbacks, I'm snatching him up every damn time.
Yeah, I mean, this team is loaded on offense as well. So, yeah, he, in the last 9 seasons, he's averaging over 4,500 yards. So, as safe as it comes from a passing standpoint, he's just not going to add anything with his legs.
Doesn't really need to, though.
I mean, it'd be nice if he rushed for 1,100 yards.
Hell yeah, it'd be nice if Lamar Jackson could throw for 4,500 yards too, So, some need it, some don't, baby.
Yeah, you're right. So, coming in at number 10, we got Drew Brees. He only played 11 games last year. He still had 27 touchdowns. He's got the greatest wide receiver in the NFL playing with him in Michael Thomas, I think. But how do you feel about him? I don't know where we got him separated at.
So I'm lower on Brees than you are. You have Brees at 9. I have Brees at 12. I don't love Brees this year as much as I typically do. I think he is a solid, back end of your draft quarterback. I think he's got some mending to do with his teammates, for some of the stuff that's come out recently. And I just think that Drew Brees isn't who he used to be. I see him just declining. I don't think he will fall off. I don't think it'll be Peyton Manning's last season where all of a sudden, Peyton Manning sucks now. I just think the floor is decent. The ceiling's not.
Yeah, I mean, they added a weapon in Emmanuel Sanders last year. They had Michael Thomas and nobody besides, Jared Cook. And get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh. My bad.
He's got Alvin Kamara. I mean, he's got that going for him for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Deep breath.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. Is that how it works?
I don't know. I can't breathe out of my nose. So
yeah. So anyway, I like Drew Brees. He's a great quarterback, man.
Yep.
That's it. I like Drew Brees. I got him at 9. You got him at 12. So coming in at 11, we have Carson Wentz. What's our spread on this one? He finished his season last year playing all 16 games.
I have Wentz at 9. You have Wentz at 12.
Okay. So all right, got you. 77% of his touchdown passes last year came from within the red zone. And they just picked up another big bodied, fast fucking receiver in the draft. I love it, man. This is going to be, he's very efficient in the red zone. He's going to throw some touchdowns. So, I like him. He's also got some rushing ability that he can add on. So I think he's safe, man. Can I say that now? He did play all 16 last year. Is he safe?
I wouldn't call him safe, man. That's like having a car that you've been in 6 wrecks with, but man, it runs good for 6 months. I still wouldn't call it safe, baby. But Carson Wentz is a damn good quarterback, man. I think he has all the tools. I think he has everything it takes. I think his team fell completely apart around him last year. I think Jalen Reagor is going to be very good for him. I draft Wentz with a lot of confidence, and I probably draft him earlier than this range. He's a guy that I think has just tremendous upside, QB1 type upside.
Yeah. So when you get down into this range, you're not looking for the safe guy anyways. You want somebody
you're looking for the boom.
Everyone in the world has him ranked at 10 through 12, but he could be the number 1 quarterback. And I do see that out of him.
I mean, out of the quarterbacks we just went over, Josh Allen, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, I probably draft Wentz over all 3 of those guys, even though he may be lower on the rankings.
Okay. I dig it. And how we rank is not necessarily how we're going to draft as well. Different drafts have different strategies. You got to watch the board. You got to do this. You got to see the team construction over here versus but we're going to get into that, baby.
We're
going to do it. So another guy who I would draft over those other guys coming in at number 12 is Matt Stafford. You can call me crazy if you want to, but last year he was on pace for right at 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He's got his great young tight end taking a second year into the league in Hawkinson. Galladay's a fucking monster. I love him. Deep ball threats all the way around, and they added another pass catching running back in the draft. So I like it, and maybe this helps carry on, stay on the field as far as games not missed, because there's not going to be such a workload. Neither of these guys, in my eyes, have they're not workhorse type backs. So I think this offense as a whole will be better, and their defense is absolutely terrible. So they're going to have to score points to catch up. So I love it. I love Stafford. I love Galladay for sure. I think once again, every year, Marvin Jones is going to be underrated.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah. So I like Drew Brees. I mean, I like Matt Stafford like a lot. So
I don't know if you remember or not, but I had Matthew Stafford in the fan league last year. I was all about Stafford last year. I've been all about Stafford most of that dude's career and have felt he has been vastly underrated. Not this year, man. I feel like everybody is overhyping Stafford right now, and I still think Stafford's a really good quarterback, but man, I'm not drafting him where he's going right now. And specifically with Stafford, you have him ranked 10. I have him at 15 on my board. I think he has everything that Matt Ryan has, except for the offense. I think Matt Ryan's offense around him is still better.
Okay. Matt Ryan just don't have that. I'm going to sling the ball 35 yards down the field to a big bodied, fast wide receiver who can go up and get it.
But I think that Matt Ryan also has wide receivers that can go up and get it in any situation. And I get it. Yeah. Kenny Golladay, man, he's emerging, and Marvin Jones is as steady as they come. There's just nothing about this Detroit offense that makes me think, wow, these guys are, going to be great.
Absolutely. And that's not a knock on, Julio or Calvin Ridley. That's a knock on Matt Ryan without having the willingness to go down the field like that. And he's got it. He just, I don't know, that correlates a lot with Julio not scoring a lot of touchdowns consistently in my eyes. So,
yep.
At number 13, we got Baker Mayfield. Why do we have him so high when everyone else does not? I think I've seen him down as low as 24 and 25 in some people's rankings.
I think Baker and Odell Beckham Jr. are the two biggest post-hype sleepers in this fantasy season. Baker Mayfield was going off the board at a ridiculous pace last year. And a lot of dynasty leagues, especially, he was, the first or second quarterback off of every board, sometimes even over Mahomes, which obviously is not the right thing to do. But I think he did not perform where everybody thought he would last year. Same for Odell, same for these Cleveland Browns. But
what do you think the problem was there? Why not?
I think a lot of it was Freddie Kitchens. I think a lot of it is just, having a lot of new moving pieces in an offense and trying to make it all work together. But if that offense wasn't stacked enough last season, they went out and added Austin freaking Hooper this season as well. Like, they're a team with weapons all over the field. And I think Baker absolutely progresses from last season, which I think was just a, sophomore slump.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue there was what I was trying to get you to say, which you did not. It was offensive line issues. He was constantly under duress, and he had gotten to a point in the season where it seemed like every time he would drop back, he would just start rolling out to the right. And it was out of fucking fear, man. He's getting his head banged in every fucking play. So, yeah, I think with the additions of Conklin, and they drafted what's his name, offensive lineman they drafted. They addressed the offensive line. There you go. So I think he can drop back 5 steps and fucking fire it. It's not like
have some time to throw the damn ball.
Yeah, and I think that was a huge downfall for him last year. So I think they addressed that, and I'm not right back up on him where I was last year, but I'm definitely growing to like him a little bit more.
Absolutely.
He had the 3rd worst completion rate, 21 interceptions, and he had the most batted balls at the line of scrimmage.
And he had a banged up Odell Beckham Jr. most of the year, man. He's gold. Draft Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, so at number 14, we got Phillip Rivers. I, for some reason, think that you must have him higher than me, which drove his consensus ranking up.
No, at 14, we have Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, we do. Okay.
We do. So I am much higher on Rodgers than you are. You have Rodgers at 15. I have him at 11. Tell me why he's so low for you.
Dude, he ain't got nobody to throw the ball to, man. He's got one guy.
That's a pretty damn good guy to throw it to. I'm just saying.
for sure. But last year he only threw for 3 or more touchdowns 3 fucking times, man. I don't want that. I don't want a consistent 230 yards and a touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns. I don't want that. Like, he's not the Aaron Rodgers that he used to be. He plays too safe, and it's, I don't know, man. I've grown to start to dislike his play style because he is what we all criticized Alex Smith for being for so many years before they drafted Patrick Mahomes and a little fire up under his ass. So, yes, I don't like that super safe quarterback. Like, motherfucker driving a speed limit, dog. Go 5 over at least, you know?
Have you seen him drink a beer?
He's driving a speed limit.
Everything you said about Aaron Rodgers is correct. However, it's still Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like, man, I'm probably picking Aaron Rodgers over Matthew Stafford in every draft I do. I just think that there's always that potential for him. There's always he's still Aaron Rodgers, and I think this is one area that you and we've kind of talked about. And especially with quarterbacks, it's hard for me, man. You let go, man. The first sign of someone just like slowly falling off the cliff, you're like, all right, I'm out. Screw you. Me, man, I'll hold on to a fucking guy for 5-6 years sometimes. Like, I was still drafting Frank Gore at the end of my drafts last year, man. You know, who knows? You know, he's going to
get good value.
It was a hell of a value, right? I think Aaron Rodgers is great value right now because I think people are forgetting that even if he is declining, even if he's not what he used to be, even if he's really safe, Aaron Rodgers, you can't tell me there are 14 quarterbacks in the NFL right now that are going to outperform him this year. I don't see it. I don't believe it. I think he's way higher than 15.
I think that he is not. I think that he might finish higher than that, but he's not going to fucking win you any weeks either.
You're probably right. But do you smell that, Joey? Smell a hat bet coming on. Aaron Rodgers, top 15. Freddie, write it down, baby.
I didn't say that.
You ain't going to do it?
I said he probably will finish there, but he's not going to win you any weeks. That's the whole thing. Like, at this point in the draft,
that's that cowardice.
No, I'd rather draft Drew Lock than this guy because of the potential ceiling. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 35 touchdowns.
That is disrespectful.
It's
Drew Lock,
the nature of
it. I get it. But Drew Lock, man, come on.
Who had the higher ceiling this year? The whole point here, you have to fucking think about it. And that's disrespect.
No. You asked ceiling, and I think there is a valid argument for Drew Lock on the ceiling.
Okay.
But the floor, I think, is Aaron Rodgers 100 times out of 100. So they're apples to oranges.
Exactly. And at this
point, can't fruit be compared.
At this point in the draft, I don't want to eat an apple or an orange. I want to eat something that could be a steak.
I want to eat steak, baby. I knew you was going to say that.
It could be a fucking steak or it could be a fucking turd, but I'm willing to taste that
too long. Don't drink too much larceny. It'll come out just fine, baby.
Hell yeah. So we got Phillip Rivers coming in next at 15.
Old man Rivers, my other fantasy quarterback from the True Serum Family League last year.
You're slamming off
about Phillip Rivers.
Well, I mean, guy threw the fourth most deep passes in the NFL last year to a team who did not have a great offensive line protecting him. So he's willing to do that. He goes into Indianapolis with a head coach in Frank Wright, who's a fucking genius, who he played under once before when Phillip Rivers had his best seasons. So I think that he flawlessly fits in. He's got his T.Y. Hilton is kind of translatable into what I'm not going to say skill set, but role that Keenan Allen plays. And then, you know, they just go out and get this rookie, Mike Williams, right? Mike Williams. Yeah. Who the rookie running back, wide receiver's name? I keep saying Mike Williams, but Mike Williams is fuck. Google that shit. Paris Campbell's coming in his second year. He battled.
Oh, they have.
injury.
I remember now. They have Michael Pittman.
Mike
I
Pittman.
was stuck on the Chargers because you were saying Mike Williams, and I was
Right.
like, I can't fucking remember.
Well, we're talking about
The
Phillip
Colts.
Rivers. So
Yeah.
But anyway, he's got that deep threat that can play the same role as Mike Williams, and then he's got Paris Campbell, who's a gadget guy, and they go out and get the best running back in the draft class, in my opinion, Jonathan Taylor, to pair up with Marlon Mack. I think this offense is going to be damn good.
Yeah, man. They also have Nyheim Hines, who is going to be somebody that I think will absolutely be boosted by Phillip Rivers. I really am hoping, man, like, obviously I want my Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, right? But if I can't have that this year, I would love the Buccaneers versus these Colts, because I would love to see what happens when you plug two all-time great quarterbacks into ready-built offenses, ready-built teams. I love the Colts. Look at what Andrew Luck was doing with them. I don't think Phillip Rivers is Andrew Luck. However, I don't think he's far off. I think this is a Super Bowl contender. I think Phillip Rivers is perfect for them. I think he has the most weapons he's had since LaDainian Tomlinson.
He has some fucking weapons, dog.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like this offense, man.
And when I say LaDainian Tomlinson, he was the only weapon, but he was probably as good as this entire Colts offense put together. That's how much respect I have for that dude. Gotta love me some LT.
All right, let's talk about our number 16, man. We got motherfucker Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, for those of you who do not know, I don't like the nickname Danny Dimes or any variation of such. So he's motherfucker Jones.
So I think Daniel Jones, again, it comes down to the different philosophies that you and I have towards back in quarterbacks. Yeah. I have him lower. I get it. I like the weapons around him. I think he showed a lot of potential last year. I think he's got to stop turning the ball over. I think it could go real south for him real quick if he does not fix his ability to secure the ball. But I think Saquon was not Saquon last year for most of the season, and I think he will only be better. I think Darius Slayton emerged as a potential wide receiver one on this offense. I hate Sterling Shepard. I don't even want to talk about him. Evan Ingram is one of the most talented tight ends in the league. I really like Daniel Jones. I think you're a little higher on him than I am, though.
Yeah, I'm higher on him because the problems that he was having last year is the turnovers, the fumbles. He had 13 fumbles in 9 games. That's pace for to tie the NFL record in fumbles. I get it. That is a correctable problem. That's a very correctable problem. Don't think for 1 second he didn't enter off season. Coaching staffs didn't enter off season saying this is what we have to fix. They're going to go in there and maybe not fix that problem, but it will be better. So I think that you get a turnover, you're off the field. There's no more chance for fantasy points, not to mention the fantasy points you just lost. Yep. But he had 4 top 2 fantasy finishes, dude.
He did. When he popped.
Yeah. 3 4-touchdown games in 1 year. Check this out. Troy Aikman and Michael Vick, their entire careers had the same amount of 4-touchdown games. So
I'm not shocked that those are the 2 names you pulled out for the record, but I get it. It's good. It's really good.
This is a nifty little stat, but
it's a nifty little
stat. Man, I think motherfucker Jones has a good ceiling. He's a good passer. I believe that. And he's got the right set of tools around him to be successful. He's just got to take that next step.
He does. And the Giants also upgraded their offensive line in this draft. So I think that should also help him, not run for his life as much. I don't think we touched on that piece.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just run real quick through. Let's get to 25. We won't get much into this, and then we'll get through these comments and answer some questions. How you feel about that?
Okay.
So at number 16, we got Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
Daniel Jones at 17. We got Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. So, yeah, We talked about him a little bit. He's got a crazy ceiling that he could reach. We don't know. We don't know. Last year he was a little bit of a dink and dunk kind of guy, which kind of plays into the I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Cortland Sutton was just blanketed last year and bailed him out a lot. So um, if he gets to the point where he can start, taking those chances down the field, things open up. They got a new running back in Melvin Gordon. Things could open up a little bit more. So I think that this offense is better than it was last year. And obviously,
They added Jerry Jeudy.
If he takes a step forward,
Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
I think the Broncos did everything they could to give this kid as many weapons as possible. Obviously they got Jerry Jeudy as well, so we'll see how it translates. I think one of the hardest decisions of this draft season, do you go with Locke or do you go with Jones? Because I think they both have a ton of upside, but both could be bottom feeders if things don't work out well.
Yeah, they're very similar in what their floors and ceilings are. I get it. It's dart throws at this point.
Yep.
Somebody who's not quite a dart throw in my mind is Ryan Tannehill. I think he will give you somewhat of a floor with the rushing, but he will also throw 8 attempts in a game too. So he's going to regress off of his efficiency, but I do think maybe the attempts go up a little bit. So
yeah, I think you nailed it on Tannehill. I think he will not be as efficient, but I think his stats can actually be better just because of more volume.
Yeah. And Ben Roethlisberger comes in at 19. Why do we have him so low? For me, I got him even lower. Let me see where I got him. I got him at 21.
Yeah, you have him at 21. I have him at 16, right behind Matthew Stafford. Man, if Big Ben is healthy, he's ready to go. Lock that dude in. He's going to give you a 7 to 8 RB1 or QB1 weeks.
Yeah, I get it. I agree 100%. I do not have faith that he is healthy. He is coming off of shoulder injury.
Every injury. That dude's been banged up his whole career, man.
Yeah, for sure. But this is typically an injury where, baseball pitchers get it. I can't remember what they call it. Tommy John. He had Tommy John surgery, I guess. So pitchers, this is a career-ending thing for them. He's throwing a ball too. I know it's not the same mechanics, same rotation, all that, but I mean, it's a tough injury to come back from. I'm no doctor, but I see players like in their careers with this. So I'm just not confident that he's going to come back at full Big Ben.
That's fair. And I think for Big Ben, if he doesn't come back, I'm fading most of that entire Steelers offense. But if he's there, then all of a sudden Juju, Deontay, those guys look pretty sexy to me.
Yep. And at number 20, we got Kirk Cousins. He just lost Stephon Diggs. He gained Justin Jefferson. We got a tight end, Irv Smith, taking a second-year leap, hopefully. And he's got a really good team around him, I believe, on offense especially. Just a coach that wants to fucking run the ball. And I get it. You got Dalvin Cook, and it works. So that's just why we got him so low, I believe. I think he's better than the 20th quarterback in the NFL.
He's a better real life quarterback than he is fantasy. To me, he's almost like Russell Wilson without the upside. Like he's going to get you 13 to 15 every day of week, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. At 21, we got our first rookie coming in, Joe Burrow. He's a rookie. I am scared.
I'm scared, but Joe Burrow could be Kyler Murray. Joe Burrow could be as good as any of the recent rookies that have came out and just popped, man. Like that offense isn't bad. Their head coach is an offensive-minded guy who came up under old boy from Rams.
McVay.
Yeah, Sean McVay, McVay disciple. So I think Burrow could pop, but I also could see Burrow having a historically bad rookie season as well.
Yeah, and so at 22, we got Gardner Minshew. Rushing ability, I think that this offense takes a step in the right direction, maybe. But I don't see a ceiling for him. So I got him that low.
Man, I think Gardner is a hard one, man. Like, there's just something about that dude that just seems special. Like he doesn't seem like he's that good, but then next thing you know, he's rallying them from a 21-point deficit to win. So I probably will not have Gardner Minshew on any rosters on week 1. I think he is probably a bye week fill type of player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got Jared Goff coming in right behind him.
You don't cough, you don't get golf, baby. He's lost a lot. The Rams are just like shedding all those salaries now. They aren't that good. I don't like Goff.
I don't like Goff either.
But
it's not that I don't really not. Yeah, I don't like him, but I also don't like what their offensive line is, and it's just terrible. And this is not a guy that performs.
Y'all had last year.
What?
The Hold My Beer segment y'all had last year.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even let Goff watch the hot dogs. That's how not good I feel about having him at my family barbecue or as a fantasy football quarterback this season.
All right, cool. So real quick, rounding out 24 through, we'll do 32 here. Let's go ahead and name these off. We got Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, Eric Carr, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's magic.
Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, Tyrod Taylor, Jarrett Stidham, Nick Foles, Justin Herbert, Mitch Trubisky, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton, and we're getting down in here to the backups all the way. So that's going to be, our quarterback rankings.
I would like to say that, as I look at these guys towards the bottom, I think guys like Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, they could be QB1s if certain things work out correctly for them this season. So I do think there is more value in this deep part of the quarterback class than usual. You don't usually have a former MVP like Cam Newton sitting down in this 40 range.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, a lot of things can change a lot of these rankings from now until the beginning of the season too. So keep that in mind that these are not our final rankings. This is what we feel right now, though.
Yep. Amen, baby.
So let's read some of these comments, baby.
I don't know how to get to the comments, so you're going to have to read them to me.
Okay. Let me see if I can. All right, here we go. Can you read that? Can you see it?
Yeah, so Anthony Jensen asks, do you think the Bucs are going to the playoffs? I'm a Patriots fan personally, but I'm a Brady fan. Do you think they are going to have a good year? If you've ever listened to this podcast, hell yes, the Brady Patriots are going to the fucking Super Bowl, if you ask me, man. All day, let's go Tom Brady. TB for 7.
All right. What's this one say?
Can't believe that slacker Jason Parker ate a $10 or more Patreon. Truth, Mike Pineacker, Pinnaker, Pinnacker, whatever you call it.
Closest thing to him is Aaron Rodgers. He was gonna. Joseph Buddha says Lamar is gonna regress.
Yeah, he is. I completely agree with you, Joseph.
Okay, so Dwight Kofroth says thoughts on Rager and Wentz.
I just want to say real quick, Dwight Kofroth, who? That was for Dwight. You can go on now.
Let's see. The whole comment's not showing up here, but it says thoughts on Rager and Wentz. What are your thoughts?
I love Wentz. I guess I like Rager. I probably won't draft him a whole lot, but I mean, he's got a ton of freaking upside. The Eagles definitely need a wide receiver 1. So I love Wentz, not as high on Rager.
I don't remember exactly, but I think I had him at 3 or 4 in my pre-draft rankings.
For the wide receiver position?
Yeah. I love him. He's
I think I had
Absolutely
him a
amazing.
smidge lower than you, but I think it's because I am all hype on Denzel Mims. So
All right. Ryan Miller says, "Fuck one, kill one, marry one." Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, or Gardner Minshew. I'm fucking Gardner Minshew, and I ain't talking about.
yes, baby. Shit. Bro, I just gotta say that these were always my favorite questions every Sunday as I was watching this. I have never got to be a part of answering this question, so I'm kind of fanboying out right now. This is awesome. Keep going. So you're fucking Minshew. What else?
I think I'm gonna marry Josh Allen, and I'll kill Sam Darnold.
So I'm gonna marry Gardner Minshew because when shit gets rough, he always comes through. So I need that in my relationship. I'm gonna kill Josh Allen just because I don't think anybody will really miss him. And then no, I take that back. I'm gonna kill Sam Darnold because that dude's got mononucleosis and who knows what else. So ain't going there. So I'll kill Darnold and I will do whatever else to Allen.
Ryan Lee Miller says, "Bold prediction: Kyler shits the bed and becomes an average QB." That is a bold prediction. I think he is. I think he's better than an average QB, but
Go ahead.
I value Ryan's opinion for sure. But there's too much around him not to be good.
So I value Ryan's opinion too. We're both Longhorn fans, right? I think this is some college bias coming out. Kyler Murray's gonna be all right, baby. Come on, cut it out. Next question.
Next question. Okay, here's a good one. This guy's got Jack.
Huh. I think they
wait
all
to be
said
called.
the fan league last year, and the only one that took me out was Ryan Lee Miller. Bring it, Pioneer.
Tom has a lot to prove. He has proved he can win without his daddy. This is coming from Chevy Williams.
Chevy, first of all, where's that $20 you owe me from Tom Brady winning that Super Bowl several years ago that you still ain't paid, baby? Secondly, yeah, he does have something to prove, but look at all the damn weapons around him. And you know who's not going to prove anything? Bill Belichick in his 3-13 season without the greatest quarterback of all time, Tommy Too Tight.
Jeremy Powell says, "How will Brady be without the GOAT?" I think he's talking about his coach in Belichick.
I think he will be a lot better than Bill Belichick without his GOAT.
Manil Trivedi, he was number one in completion percentage on throws, 20 plus yards. Where did Jordan go? I'm assuming you're talking about Phillip Rivers. Whenever I said that, I don't know where we're at here. Ike Boley says, "How will Big Ben be after being out all last year?" I believe we answered that one. Terry Elliott, predict Lamar Jackson's touchdown passing, interception passing yards, rushing yards, and Ravens win-loss records. I think it'll be very similar to what it was last year as far as the ratio goes. I just think that it is a little bit below where it was as far as the ceiling goes of what he could be this year. But I do think that ultimately it will be about the same ratio. Win-loss record, I think that they will not be quite as good as they were last year. Hang on, Jordan is back. Let me see if I can't get him up here with me. Boom, there we go. He's back, baby. We can't hear his ass, though. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. All right. Let's see. Continue on.
How about now?
We good now. We can hear you, baby. Mike Pinnaker says he agrees with me on something. I don't know what he was talking about because I wasn't keeping up with the comments while we were talking. Okay, here's one for you.
I said I wanted the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. I did not say that the Cowboys will go to the Super Bowl, for the record. For anybody out there that does not know, I have like dick for confidence in my team when it comes down to it. But man, I got to be hype. It's the offseason, right? Either way, Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl. I think I've said that like 11 times. Let's go Bucks.
There's another one that says the same thing. He just replaced Cowboys and Colts.
Okay, so Kai, CM, Selm, who's going to the Super Bowl? Why don't you tell me, baby? Let's talk about it. But I agree, Colts probably won't go to the Super Bowl. It's probably the Chiefs.
Yeah. Reginald Johnson says Denver offense will struggle. They are so young at many key positions. I agree 100%. However, you have to kind of agree that there is a huge ceiling for them. I do agree that there are going to be some times where they do struggle, but you could have said this about the Chiefs offense a few years ago with the young quarterback coming in. I kind of thought that they were going to struggle at some point, but we also knew that that ceiling was there. We can't predict the future, but I'm in no way comparing Drew Lock to Patrick Mahomes, but we don't know because we haven't seen it yet. He's a dart throw. Adam Frex from Talking Dynasty says Tyrod Taylor will start all season. That's my hot take. Chargers over 500. What do you think?
I don't think it's that bold of a take at all. I think Taylor, it all is going to come down to that win-loss record. If they come out the gates and they start off strong, I think they're going to ride Taylor. But if they come off at 1-3, 1-4, you're going to put in Justin Herbert.
All right, Reginald Johnson wants to know our PPR rankings from the Colts backfield. Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines. In a full PPR, I'm still going to say overall Jonathan Taylor is 1, then Mack, then Hines, but that's based on overall points at the end of the season. Which of these guys am I more likely to take is Jonathan Taylor, but I do expect to see somewhat of a struggle in the beginning of the season. I think it starts out as a full-blown committee, and then eventually Taylor starts eating more and more and more to the
completely agree with you.
So all three rankings same. Okay. He also says Hunter Renfrow is a steal and will lead Raiders in catches. What do you think?
I disagree, but I don't think it's the worst take in the world.
Okay. I think I might actually agree with the amount of receptions itself, but as far as that goes, I think it stops at receptions and low yardage totals.
Fair.
And okay. We're almost toward the end of these. All right, well, they're just kind of chit-chatting back and forth. Well, that is going to do it for us and our quarterback rankings. And next time we're going to come up with some running back rankings. We're going to do the same thing, right? Also, you can come check this same thing out in audio version if you aren't willing to sit here for a whole hour and listen to us talk on your phone. Pop in some earbuds, listen to us on a podcast. We're everywhere you can find podcasts. Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Podcast, Apple Play Music, Apple whatever music.
And find it all at thetrueserumfootball.com.
Yeah, come check that out. You can find the links to everywhere we are on social media there as far as that goes, and contact information. If you got any questions or anything like that, suggestions for the show, any of it, we're all ears. We're good at taking criticism. If we fucking suck, tell us we fucking suck. But as always,
Stay true.